About 7:40, all of my three kids are in bed, and I just thought I would come on here and share a little bit about sleep needs, sleep totals, and how you know if your kid has the right bedtime for them and how you know how much sleep they actually need. Let's start with my toddler. She is almost 2.5. She sleeps usually between 11 and 12 hours overnight, and she takes about an hour to an hour and a half long nap. And I know a lot of people are going to think that that's a very short nap because we're conditioned to believe that babies need 2 or 3 hour long naps in the middle of the day, but it's just not true. For most of them, that's going to be too long and it's going to make bedtime really, really hard. Now, I also have a preschooler. She just turned 5 and she sleeps again about 11 to 12 hours per night. She doesn't really nap though. Sometimes at school, they'll have like quiet time in the middle of the day. She goes to preschool and she will snooze for maybe 20, 30 minutes, sometimes up to an hour. So again, she's right in that kind of like average range. 10 to 13 hours per 24 is normal. And my oldest is 7, so he is school age, and he of course doesn't nap anymore. He's at school full days, but he does tend to sleep again 11, sometimes even 11 and a half, 12 hours if it's been a really busy day with lots of activity. So again, right in that normal range. How do you know if your child is getting adequate sleep? How do you know if they're getting enough sleep? Sleep latency is one thing we want to look at. We want to make sure that they're not falling asleep immediately and they were super overly tired, but they're also not taking more than 20, 25 minutes or so. The other thing is their sleep quality. We want to see how much they're waking up overnight, if they're sleeping in the morning, and if they're able to like get through their day of activities and have a decent mood. We also want to consider their age and whether or not they still need a nap and how long that nap should be. And then of course, something that nobody talks about, but that is very important to remember, is that part of this is also genetic and temperament based. That could be a whole nother video. In fact, I teach an entire workshop just on temperament and sleep. Short version is that some of this is genetic and some kids, just like adults, are wired to be more night owl types or more early bird types. And it's going to be really hard for them to have an early bedtime regardless of what their schedule is. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions.